Did you miss us? We're back. Welcome to another episode of NotInHallOfFame.com presents How the Hell Did This Go #1? And yes, I'm back. And I just want to say, first off, a little bit of a personal thing. So if you're wanting to get right into the song, fast forward a few minutes here if you could. I'm Kirk Buchner along with Brad Nelson. How you doing, Brad? And Andrea Tessmann.
Hello.
And thank you both. Both of you were very, very kind during a rough time for me over the last couple of weeks, and it is much appreciated. So this episode is dedicated, well, this is going to be part one of a dedication, because the song that I picked next week is the true dedication, but I have a dedication to my father who passed away at the age of 80. Dad never watched anything that I ever did. We figured, why? But love you, Dad, and I'm sure maybe you're watching me now. Or not, maybe you figured out a way to turn this off too. But either way, great man, and I miss you.
He figured out how to turn off Heaven Vision?
He very well might have. He used to joke, said, I think it's a great idea for you to be on TV. That way I could turn you off. So, but either way, a great man and a legend passed away.
Sounds like your parents were about as supportive as mine. They always told me I had a face for radio.
Something like that. Well, Dad never said that because I look like my mom. So he would never say that.
But,
yes. But everything else might have been somewhat accurate. So we've got a good one. We're going to take a trip to Harper Valley, but Harper Valley does not have a college team. And I'm going somewhere with this because guess what it is starting tonight as we're recording?
College sports ball.
Yes. Brad,
I'm going to guess basketball. Is it basketball?
It is. It's the college basketball tournament. And if you're going to wager, and I think Andrea and Brad's favorite team is, I know they qualified this year for the tournament.
The Harlem Globetrotters?
No, Oral Roberts.
That's accurate.
Oral Roberts University qualified for the tournament. And
wait, wasn't Oral Roberts the mega religious televangelist guy?
Yes.
Okay, because that's not a sexy thought.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, whenever you think of going deep on Oral, you think of Brad and Andrea, because you see, this is the team that they want to bet on huge, right? How much are you fixated on Oral, Andrea?
Not much. Not much. I don't think I'm betting huge on that one.
You're not betting huge on Oral to beat Duke?
I would much rather Oral than Duke.
Well,
there you go. Yeah.
Brad wants to bet on Oral. Now, Brad knows where to get his best Oral.
I know where to get the best Oral. But in your sense, you're talking sports betting.
I'm talking sports betting. I'm talking about BetStamp. Now, BetStamp is something that you should all download right now, because if you're a bettor, and chances are you are.
I downloaded it.
In fact, I'm betting on it. Yeah, see what I'm doing? I'm betting. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we're betting on you, viewers. Listeners, whoever you are.
So if you're going to be doing that, whatever major purchase in life, this is you bet, you take a look at it, you figure out what's going to be the thing that makes the most sense. Well, BetStamps is the thing for you. So if you're going to go like Brad and sort of figure out what the best Oral is for him, he wants the best value for his Oral.
You got me there. I was in mid-swallow, which, pun totally not intended. But
I was going for. I was so happy that they qualified just for this bit, but because no, they really did. They're ranked number 12, and
nice.
Oral's always been a good 12.
Yeah, you're reaching for that one.
For me, I got to do that 6 times. But anyway. But if you're going to
brought it home.
There you go. But if you're going to bet on whatever team to win the whole thing or whatever it is, you want to get the best line possible. BetStamp's going to help you do that. You download that and whatever sort of sports books that you have, put down whatever bet you're looking for, and they're going to help you figure that out. And if you think that maybe you need a bit of help, that's okay. They've got some experts who are going to help you along the way. If you're a gambler, if you're a sports gambler, if you don't have BetStamp, well, I'm not betting on you. So I've got a promo code for you. $1.25, and it helps out the site, and because you want to help out entertaining people like us, right? And even if you
keep that quality content on the air,
and absolutely. We could use all the help we can get.
Absolutely. So when you think of BetStamp, $1.25. And with that, no more oral jokes until I have something else.
No, no guarantees on that.
I'm
No
betting
guarantee.
69 on oral, dude.
Maybe you can do like an over and under on 69 points for oral.
Oh, see, there we go.
Is there a player with number 69? Because
That would be the best number for
There's
that
not.
team.
No. Well, okay, maybe there. I don't think so because usually basketball players don't have that number. So because the refs sort of like have to sort of like flash like fouls and stuff like that. So you can't just do 6'9" like that. So it doesn't quite work. All right, foul, tripping, 69. I've never done that before. Maybe like all the Koreans are thinking, hey, you really nailed our flag. But anyway, and so from that, we're going to go to Harper Valley, a team that did not qualify for the tournament. To Andrea, this was your pick. Harper Valley P.T.A. from 1969, a song I moderately remember, but I remember a little bit more because back when I was a kid, back when I was 11 or 12, give or take, maybe 10, Barbara Eden starred in a TV show based on this song.
yes, she did. Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie.
I
Those
did
of you
dream of
chillins
Jeannie.
who don't know who that lovely woman is.
Wow. Only your mothers could tell you apart there, Kirk. Between you and Barbara Eden with those moves?
Is Barbara Eden dead?
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right.
To the Google Mobile.
Well, as you're doing that, well, her career is more alive than Jeannie C. Riley, who is the singer of this, but we can't talk about her without looking at the writer. And I didn't
91 years old.
91?
91.
That is 1 year older than my grandmother.
Awesome. And you just went on a cruise with your grandma, did you not?
No, not this one. This is the first cruise I've ever gone on without my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so she
I went with my aunt.
I went with your aunt. And so Brad and I apologize. Because we made you so much more famous, right? So when they were stopping you in Mexico and saying like, it's Tessmann.
It's true.
Yeah.
We got Tattoo working on the gangway here?
I didn't say that I could do. Look, I can only do Michael Caine impressions and other offensive impressions that I'm not allowed to do anymore.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, it's true, Kirk. They were stopping me everywhere, being like, "Hey, you're part of the Buchnerverse."
Did they do that?
Yes,
They did.
Okay, awesome.
And I would know it's just.
That didn't happen for me when I was in Cuba because like I'm banned there.
Well, Cuba has poor internet.
Yes, it did. Yes, it very much did. The whole Buchnerverse will come to a screeching halt if there's ever a Fairmont, Cuba, and my wife gets transferred there. But Tom C. Hall, the writer of this ditty, very intriguing individual, wrote a pile of great songs. They called him the storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was also not really, he was a low-grade radio DJ when he wrote this. It was, writing songs was kind of his hobby.
Yeah, and he wrote it from an experience that he had.
Well, from what I read, he was asked to do that from a mid to low-level country singer.
Yeah.
What was her name? Margie Singleton. I might be off on the first name.
It's up Margie, Maggie, something like that.
Yeah, but I know I got the last name right. And just basically they wanted to do, she had an idea of sort of replicating Ode to Billy Joe. And so he crapped this one out, and based it on, this is I think my favorite part when I was doing the research on this, and maybe it sort of rings true for the both of you, that he based it on his experiences as a kid in Kentucky and just the hypocrisy of just people around him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in itself, while some of the lyrics in this don't necessarily hold true today, hypocrisy never dies.
True.
Honestly, I think the lyrics are pretty timeless for a lot of this. If you update it from "you've asked me out 7 times" to "you've snuck into my DMs 7 times," or something like that. But dick pics. I have received dick pics from you on 12 occasions. But the sentiment of it is very true, and the exact. But yeah, Sniffer. She smells like gin. Yeah. Might be wine in your sippy cup to go, but
Mhm.
same thing.
I guess I was going more when I said that with the whole mini skirt thing and shit like that. So
Mhm.
I think it was like more specific lyrics, but I mean the tone of it
Well,
is
the time that this was written, mini skirts, mini dresses were rising in popularity, pardon the pun. And they were a thing. They were seen as absolutely scandalous things. And the
At the
fact
same
that a single mother, a widowed mother, is being
hanging out with
seen in
men and
public
wearing.
with a mini
right.
skirt.
At the
So
same time, you look at the dress codes of kids in school and girls being sent home for wearing a tank top.
Hmm.
I wore spaghetti strap tank tops that you could see my bra straps to high school 25 plus years ago. Like,
And the boys weren't distracted and couldn't do math because of that.
was never my problem.
Yeah,
That's their
exactly.
problem.
Hmm.
And yeah, so we did, I mean, we had dress codes, but they were never what they are now. And the judgment on mothers and on single mothers going to pick up their kids, sure, in a mini skirt or
Hmm.
in anything moderately revealing that isn't your skin tight Lululemons, because those are okay.
Yeah, those are just fine.
Is yeah, there's a lot of judgment, especially on single women. So I don't think honestly the exact the exact words and phrasing of what they're judging her for might be a little bit out of date, but I don't think the sentiment is at all.
no, not at all. So the song though was a flop initially. Uh, got heard by a gentleman of this not related to Margie, but Shelby Singleton, who was basically a hack, a very
Well, you gotta
successful hack.
say, Margie was very kind of soft. It was kind of cutesy and soft.
Didn't work for her.
Didn't work for her at all. So yeah, Shelby, then continue.
Yeah, so this guy, he was responsible for, he was a radio exec, well, not radio, sorry, he was a record executive who, this guy knew how to market. He had an ear for stuff, but no art, if that makes any sense. He's the guy who discovered the Hey Paula, and then changed their name, Hey Paul, whatever, and changed their name of those, for those
Mm-hmm.
people, Paul and Paula. Was he helped Ray Stevens, which he should be penalized just for that. We're never doing that.
Hey, the Mississippi Squirrel Revival and The Flash are two amazing songs.
No, they are not. You are wrong on both counts.
You just don't
But
have the same appreciation for, as the French would say, le fromage as I do.
I very much do. I mean, like, come on, I'm the king of disco.
Well, there's that, but that's just poor taste on your part.
Fine. Anywho, so this guy, he figures there's a shot at this, and I couldn't find out how he sort of got connected with Jeannie C. Riley, who sang this. I can't find how.
there's a whole lot of stuff out there, and I didn't get through it because there's literally like 3 episodes of one specific podcast about country music on this song, and an entire episode is dedicated to him and how he literally, yeah, he's a hit maker.
Mhm.
But basically it had to do with signing her to one label versus another that he was working for, and her being a low priority and the song being a low priority. But then yeah, so it had a lot to do with politics within the record industry.
But it was a great fit for them both. Jeannie had never accomplished anything. I think she moved to Tennessee. Was it from Texas or I forget?
Yeah,
She's
born
from
in
Texas.
Texas
Born
originally.
in Texas. Okay.
And she and her husband moved to Nashville because she thought she could make it as a country singer, but basically at this time she was working as a receptionist or something
Was
at
she
a
working as a waitress in a cocktail bar?
she was
That much
not
is not true.
Oh.
exactly. No, she was working as a secretary or a receptionist or something within the music industry, but not, she wasn't really doing anything besides some commercials and little things like that. So she was he was looking for someone who could pull off the song, had a bit of an edge to her voice and was pretty.
And if you notice, she gives off some Nancy Sinatra vibes.
She really does.
Does there at
And she
near
has the range of Nancy Sinatra too. It's about
closer
four
into the
notes.
edge of the song. Closer into the end of the song there. Yeah, she shows off a little bit of her growl.
And it works. So this was also a bit of a shift in what country could be. One of the few country songs that crossed over, and I think it worked because you're tapping into what rock songs usually need to be, which is a bit of rebelliousness, which is
tapping into the counterculture, especially with what was going on at the time.
right. And
This
so
is the 60s.
sure, I mean, miniskirt, that's enough. B, you're not. I don't want to say that it's relatable and easy to follow through. So like it's a great story for what it is. C, she's hot, and that is a nice elixir to sort of like make that work. The next song to do what this did was something we've already covered and sort of fits those three things, and that's 9 to 5.
Ah, Dolly.
9 to 5 also had the whole movie going for it, and it had a bit more going for it. Also,
I might
a lot more
dislike
talent.
country, but I will always have room for not all of Kenny Rogers, but The Gambler, Dolly's whole catalog, and Reba McEntire.
Wow. A third one I didn't see fitting in that. Okay, interesting.
Just their voices and their storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with this song, it hits everything that I think you need for that to work. I think that could have worked anytime over the next few years after, if you're sort of like changing that. The end of that or the last thing, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Is it just me, or is this probably the first song we've ever talked about that has no chorus?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that when I was listening to it. There's not like there's no chorus, there's no bridge, there's no real
I was
repetition.
gonna say we've done some without bridges, but not anything without a chorus.
Yeah, this one just goes straight through, tells the story, and it does, repeat the Harper Valley P.T.A. line a couple of times, but it doesn't repeat itself.
I think
Other than
part
that,
of why it works though is it changes key a couple of times. It increases as it goes, which increases the intensity of the song and the intensity of her message.
And
especially when she's basically saying "fuck you."
Thanks to Jeannie's voice, then the gruffness of it, and the fact that she brings in that growl at the end of it, it goes from this girl who was at school who is like a little bit concerned that she's got to take this note to her mom to piss off you wankers at the end.
What I find also interesting here is what sort of happened after. Jeannie never really had another major hit on the mainstream, had a couple minor hits in country, pretty much adopted a persona that maybe wasn't her.
Yep.
And then she went gospel.
Her next, I think she made it to number 7 was her next highest, but the reality.
But pretty much.
No, she did have a couple of top 100 crossovers.
Okay, but at that point,
nowhere near this.
If you were to classify her as a one-hit wonder, that's not inaccurate.
No, it's not.
One other fun fact about this song, it had the biggest jump into the top 10 of any pre-download song.
I missed that. Okay.
It went from 81 to 7 in a week.
Wow.
Which is nowadays that's whatever, you can be nothing and be number 2 the next week, but in that era, that was, you climbed the charts. You didn't leap tall charts.
Yeah, somebody had to hear this on the radio. A bunch of somebody's had to hear it on the radio and run out, buy the vinyl, and have that tracked, Whereas now, I mean, anybody can just be scrolling through Spotify and hear something, and boom, there's thousands of listens.
Right. Doesn't take much for that. So then, like when we talked about Convoy not that long ago, this begat a TV movie. Well, Convoy was a movie, and then which begat a show of the same name that
2 seasons.
I never saw any of it, but I mean, still, it was you can take this country song and figure, okay, what can I make out of this? And they
You
did.
could take this and make it a current day TV series.
You
You could make it, into any number of, well, I mean, we've got a bunch in
I mean,
recent years
you
that
look
fit
at
the bill.
the basis of Roseanne, and you kind of got it there.
and then it goes off the rails too, just the way Roseanne kind of did.
Well, yeah.
Both the person and the show. 'Cause
Mhm.
some of those episodes past episode 4 or season 4, what the fuck? But anyway. What I found really interesting too was, I mean, and Andrew, you touched on this, how she went gospel. Did either of you catch her sequel?
No.
I did, and I actually almost sent it to you. It was awful.
It was
She
awful.
returns back to the Harper Valley P.T.A, but she's now one of the judgy bitches. Her dresses are below her knees, and yeah, she's seen the light of God, basically.
Also written by Tom C. Hall, who probably said, yeah, okay, I'll do it.
It's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, that's exactly what it was. So, because in the first song, the narrator was actually the daughter,
Mhm.
but in the sequel, it's actually the mother, because she's now repentant for going there in her shitty, her slutty attire, rather, let's just say, and she's really aghast at going I guess, what was she, Andrea? Help me out here. I guess sort of like a chaperone at one of the school dances or something,
Yeah,
and,
something like that.
Leave room for Jesus.
more or less.
You gotta dance this far away from each other.
Got to be
Only
a
10
Bible's width
fingertips.
between you.
Well, I mean, she's mentioning the Bible in that, and she's aghast because they're drinking and then they're pretty much
Yeah,
corralled.
drugs and alcohol are the devil, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't know anybody who would partake of those type of things.
neither do I.
No.
I haven't
Sinners and heathens, I tell you.
today, but anyway,
Tolerance break, man.
oh, there you go. And it's no wonder why that was a complete flop, because that doesn't appeal to any audience, let alone even, I think, even
It
a
doesn't appeal
gospel.
to the Christian audiences
Hmm.
either. Like, there's very few people that actually, yeah.
I don't
And the
know.
song was bad.
You're not making Christian rock better. You're making music worse, was something that Hank Hill had said, approximately. I'm paraphrasing there. No, you're not making Christian music better. You're making rock worse.
Propane and propane accessories.
That's the stuff.
Yeah. So I think she's still alive, 87, I believe. But yeah, she faded into nothingness, and I hate to say it, but she kind of deserved it. There's nothing wrong with going gospel, but if you suck at it,
77 years old, born October
77.
19th, 1945.
And the
Oh.
reality is, she wasn't a great singer. She had a great voice for this song, but this song doesn't require that. This is a great karaoke song. This is the sort of song, like Nancy Sinatra, that anybody can get up and sing it, and you'll sound decent at worst.
I think she should get together with Nancy Sinatra and Meg White, and they should have the most vanilla band ever. Just, 4/4 time, Meg White on the drums. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe throw in a cymbal once in a while just for, spice. And then, you got her and Nancy Sinatra singing, and it's like it's something you can play in old folks' home to make sure that they get their naps in.
I say this because also Nancy Sinatra is like my favorite karaoke song ever.
These boots were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days, these boots are gonna walk all. Yeah, exactly. You could sing it in a coma.
Wow.
I
felt
nice, Andrea. For those of you listening, Andrea was attempting to go-go dance.
Just from my seat, though, so it's just the upper body.
Yeah, just upper body go-go dancing. No cage, no thigh highs.
No, sorry. Go-go boots weren't thigh highs; they were knee high.
That's true.
You're just getting excited about. You're getting confused between go-go dancers and strippers, Brad.
I like strippers.
And he cannot.
And back to the song.
I think we're done with the song because there's nothing better than sort of like talking about gospel than going right to stripper cages.
I'm a stripper.
There you go. Of course, I'm sure many a stripper has gone to sort of like praise the Lord and praise Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened, I'm sure.
And for that, I'll encourage everyone to see what Tequila is doing right now.
Oh God, what is Tequila doing right now?
She thinks the last time I checked, she thought that she was the daughter of Christ.
And I didn't know what was going on with her, and I'd heard her name a couple of times. Then I Googled her, and I was dumber. Like I learned negative a thing.
That would be an accurate Google search of Tequila now. It is.
In better news about tequila, I brought back some really good tequila from Mexico.
Oh yeah, any mezcal?
No, mezcal's no. I'm not a mezcal fan. Plus, you can only bring so much across the border before the border agents are like, "You owe us money."
Yeah.
This is actually a good segue to tell you what we got next week.
What do we got next week?
And the true.
That's
not. No, it's not that.
That's my go-to karaoke song.
I love it when you just stand up there and totally deadpan. Tequila.
Wait, you actually do that? You can actually karaoke tequila?
Tequila. You can, yes. It's the funniest shit. I had a friend that used to do it all the time. Well, not all the time, but occasionally, and would just like stand up there totally straight, completely deadpan, and then just be like, tequila. And then just wait.
Nice. But we're sticking with the country song. We're sticking with something that is a true honor to Peter Buchner, my father. My dad didn't listen to much music at all. I think music for him pretty much died in 1961, but there was a few artists after that he did care for. And we're going to go to 1974, the Tex-Mex King, Freddie Fender, before the next teardrop falls.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, so this was one of his favorite artists, one that I listened to many times on 8-track because I had to. So it's going to be some positive memories if I shed a tear a bit or a next teardrop falls. Just bear with me. I wasn't going for a joke there, dumbass.
You were doing the wordplay stuff.
I'm doing a wordplay, yes, but I mean, I thought this was the sensitive part of the program that you pick up on, but you did not pick up what the.
Me to get weepy.
No, that's all good.
But I'm very upset, by the way, at this whole format because Jimmy Buffett has never made it into number one.
That's why at the end of this year we're going to change this to How the Hell Was This a Hit?
Oh, because then we're going to Margaritaville.
We are going to Margaritaville.
I drank a lot of margaritas in the last 2 weeks.
We're going to be doing a hell of a lot. We'll be tiptoeing through the tulips.
No, we will not.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
All right, no, I have to respect that because I vetoed a few things ahead of time. But if you feel that strong about it, okay.
I hate Tiny Tim for the same reason I hate Neil Young. It's their voice.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
Part podcaster, part goat over there, Andrea.
Actually, wouldn't it be good if you did a duet with Michael Caine?
Michael Caine.
You know that even though you vetoed it, I'm still picking musicals.
It depends on the musical.
Oh, there's some good shit out there in the musical world.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, even just look at Shallow.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that one went to number one though.
Yeah, it might have hit number one.
So you could pick it now.
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff like that. There's America from West Side Story.
I'm just going with Bangkok, Oriental City, but the city don't know what the city
from
is.
Chess.
Little Murray Head.
That's fine. That's fine. But we're not doing fucking West Side Story because no gangs just all of a sudden decide they're going to sing right before they stab each other.
When you're a jet all the way. Come on, that's intimidating, man.
And Kirk is out. Hey,
I got
Kirk,
the back
I
of the
heard you wrote a
head.
book.
I did. I did. Chavo Guerrero, instant classic about the late, great Chavo Guerrero Sr. It's his autobiography that I helped him write before he died. You can get that on Amazon. I hear that it makes a great Easter gift.
It is
Well,
Easter
it's
season.
steak and blowjob day today, so the next one would be Easter.
All right, there you go. So I mean, like
Yeah.
that would be something that would be.
Today's also Pi Day, just in case you weren't nerdy and care.
Well, there you go. There you
So
go.
vegans can get in on the celebration as well.
Absolutely. Chavo didn't mind vegans. In fact, Chavo actually ate his share of pie, which you can read about in Chavo Guerrero Instant Classic.
We get into the dirty details in this book. Kirk, is this a kissing book?
What? Okay, this went over my head. You're gonna have to help me.
Go watch Princess Bride and come back.
Oh fuck! Okay. I haven't seen that one in a long time. I usually fast forward through the parts with Fred Savage.
Sorry, 1 second. My asshole's being an asshole. Down from there, you little shithead.
All right, well, Andrea's corralling shitheads. I'm going to do some more promotion. I also have another show that I do with Evan Nolan. It's the weekly Hall of Fame program. So if you're in the Hall of Fame, that's a great show for you. I'm going to be not resurrecting. I'm finally going to get to episode 2 of the retro football show because both of you remember where you were during Super Bowl III, right?
Sports.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Well, actually,
I don't think I was born.
It's a
cultural
touchstone.
something.
Yeah, all of us, because none of us were born then. But we're going to be doing a retro show on Super Bowl III. That was the year that Joe Namath guaranteed victory for the New York Jets. And
see, the only reason I know Joe Namath is because he did that pantyhose commercial.
Yes, he did.
And I remember how controversial it was at the time.
Yes, it was, and it helped get him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame and shit like that. The worst quarterback to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but he won, and he won a Super Bowl, guaranteed.
It was for those legs pantyhose that came in the plastic egg, wasn't it?
I think you're right. Okay, Andrea, why did they do that in those eggs? What was the point of that?
Because they were
no idea.
eggs.
Oh, eggs. Yeah, legs.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
Thanks for sorting that out, Brad, because I didn't.
I've always been a fan of stockings. Pantyhose is just stockings with extra steps.
I have more shit to promote, but Brad threw me off. Oh, that's right.
I have been doing that.
Well, there's also the Vinny makes the Hall of Fame case for. We just recorded one on Max Zlotski. You know Max Zlotski.
Of course we do.
Of course we do.
I mean, who does? Okay, only troglodytes and like bridge dwellers don't know who Max that guy is.
Oh, absolutely. So that's why he made the Hall of Fame case for him, and why this 4-time All NBA selection should be in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
It should. I mean, it should be there.
Absolutely.
100%.
I don't know. It's a travesty that it's not. It's you hear me? It's a travesty.
Yeah.
Well, Vinny agrees with you, and he makes that case on the Buchnerverse. And finally, I have a bunch of other shows coming up. It's just been
Hey, what's with the TV one? This
shit was on national television.
Yeah, what are you doing next on that?
Nothing for a bit, because he got promoted to something else. So
is he back in Antarctica? Because
no, that's a different host.
Oh,
that's the host of the classic sports review.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I have a hard time keeping all the shows in the Buchnerverse.
Well, yeah, the only problem with the Buchnerverse shows is that if people don't like me, I'm in all of them.
It is the Buchnerverse, and you are the Buck.
Yeah.
And it stops there.
That's the official name of everything. Although I really have to change that because like I keep meeting people like, what's the name of your show? The Buck Stops Here. And then there's other shows called The Buck Stops Here when you do a search for it. And it made sense.
Well, you're gonna have to change it just to the Buchnerverse then.
The Buchnerverse, yeah, that's right, because that's what the world's missing is.
Get a wicked little Star Trek-y sort of, Orville intro.
We have good intros for this.
I know. I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying, with the Buchnerverse, it could be doo.
Maybe we should get like a kind of uniform and then just like starring Kirk Buchner.
Oh, with a big
Captain
rainbow
Kirk.
coming off the fingers.
Something like that. Yeah. Like, all right, Ted, work on that.
No,
Okay.
it's got to be Captain Kirk. It's got to be like stars coming off.
Or it could be like a little Vulcan salute.
Yeah, but couldn't I get like a trademark infringement for that or something?
Probably.
Yes,
Yes.
you probably could.
Or maybe it should be something else.
You were named after Captain Kirk.
I was.
That's true. Is your middle name Tiberius?
No, it is not. You're amazingly, you're the first person to ever ask me that. Thanks for that.
I can only imagine that it's original as all my shit is and not recycled at all.
But
Yeah.
is your middle name James?
My middle name is Peter, after my father.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, see, that's all right. It's okay. It'll do.
It'll have to.
Yeah.
And with that, because Andrea didn't keep us off the rails.
I'm getting worse at that.
Well,
I think- So you've picked
maybe
the next
from
one, which
Mexico,
is
you've been on some rails, but anyway.
I have not. I just drank a lot.
Okay.
Like a lot. Like drinks package a lot.
I like how it was just a lot. No, like a lot. Like drinks package, like in rapid succession.
Anyone who's a regular viewer of this knows that I cannot judge. So with that,
Bye.
whoever you are, wherever you may be, the Buchnerverse bids you adieu.
I didn't know you spoke French.
I didn't
Auf
know.
Wiedersehen?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Nah.
You're saying goodbye.
That's a musical again, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, it
So
is.
long,
All right,
farewell.
we're done. We're done.
To you, and you, and you. End it already.
Press the button.